I'm getting older, I think I'm aging well. I wish someone had told me I'd be doing this by myself. There's reasons that I'm thankful, there's a lot I'm grateful for. But it's different when a stranger's always waiting at your door. Which is ironic, cause the strangers seem to want me more than anyone before.
Hello Year 7 and welcome to your half-term 6 assembly. So that's Adam Lambert there with his version of the song Getting Older. I'll just pause that and move on. So yeah, it's the final half-term of 2025, the final half-term of your first year at Kings Meadow Community School. So I hope you had a lovely half-term break. Hope you're looking forward to working hard these last 7 weeks. Normally I would have done this assembly in front of you, but for different reasons, haven't been able to. One of those is that the Year 11 have got exams, so they've been using the hall. As you know, it's their final exams of their whole 11 years of school. But also you yourselves, as Year 7, you have key assessments this week, which I'm going to mention in a moment. So you've been working hard for that. I think you had maths key assessment when I was going to do this assembly, so I thought it would be much better to let you get your heads into that and do this as a recording. So yes, it's the last half term of 2025, the last 7 weeks coming up, a really important 7 weeks for you. It's a chance for you to really sort of end the year with a success, and to prepare well for Year 8, something that I'm sure that you all want to do and want to do incredibly well. So I wonder where you see yourself on that continuum. We just heard from Adam Lambert singing Getting Older. So where are you now? What are you, the one, two, what are you, maybe the third one along, moving to the fourth one along possibly? I'm only the fifth one along, obviously. I'm not 8 or 9, definitely not. And that's what you are doing. So you are children moving into adulthood. You're in secondary school now, and by the time you take your exams in Year 11, that'll be your last few weeks before you are off, possibly getting jobs and getting mortgages and debt, and but also living your life and becoming adults and grown-ups in your own right and ready to inspire the next generation. So in terms of that, I've got a little quote that I just wanted to share with you. It's a quote by John Connolly, who's an Irish author, and he said, "For in every adult there dwells the child that was, and in every child there lies the adult that will be." So for me as an adult, the first half of that sentence, I'll look back on the things I've done when I was younger, as a young adult and as a child myself, and everything I've done, the good stuff and the bad, has impacted on the adult I am now. So there you are on your journey through adolescence. You have an opportunity now, as the child that you are moving into adulthood, to really make a difference to the type of adult you're going to be, and to think about the type of adult you want to be. You know how much I how much store I set with our core values of respect, resilience, integrity. They are really close to my heart, and I feel like if you get those 3 things right, you can get everything right. I'm sure that you'd want to be the sort of adult who people trust, who people think are honest and is hardworking, the sort of adult who shows integrity. Well, that's something you can do now. You can make that decision now as a child to be like that, and that will affect you as an adult and make sure that you are that. I'm sure that you'd want to be the sort of adult who treats people with respect, treats everyone equally and in the way that they deserve, and equally you will also receive that respect back and be a respected adult. And I'm sure that also you'd like to be the sort of adult who's known to work hard, to try hard, to never give up, and to be an inspiration to the next generation of children and young people, and because of the resilience that you show. And the thing is, that won't just happen when you turn 18 or 21. Or I have to say, in my household, I tell my son he's not a grown up till he's 25, but that's my rules. But it won't just happen. You won't become an adult who has those core values. You work on them as a child, and you make sure that you instill them in yourself, and you will go off and become incredibly successful and resilient and respectful and have oodles of integrity if you start now. And I want to look ahead to this half term. There's quite a lot coming up in these 7 weeks. So for example, your last set of key assessments. I've just mentioned at the start, you're doing them right now, so hopefully you've worked hard at that, you've paid attention in class, and you're going to do incredibly well in these key assessments. Year 11 are leaving, so you won't be long before you're not the youngest, because we also have Year 6 transition days. So Year 11 leave in about 3 weeks' time, and then just after that we've got the Year 6. You'll remember this last year, come in for a couple of days just to get to know the school, and just so they don't feel as nervous when they start in September. So you'll no longer be the youngest year group, they'll be here, and I'm sure they'll be just as loud and annoying as you were last year. Sorry, you weren't, you were all fabulous last year. I'm sure they won't be nearly as good as you were. Year 11 moving into Year 12, so very similar. We have a lot of Year 11 students choosing to stay in our sixth form. And again, that's a big transition for them. So they're going to have a day where they're going to find out what it's like to be Year 12, do a bit of team building. Some of our Year 10 students will be off to do geography field work, which you'll be doing in a few years. We have Rewards Day coming up. You'll only know it this big day where everyone in the school does a different sort of reward. Next year it's going to be a bit different. We're going to have lots of days across the year, so you don't have to wait till the very end of the year for your rewards. But that's where you get rewarded for your house points and your hard work across the year. The Kings Meadow Games, a bit of sports for everybody. And then the end of year celebrations on the very last day of the year, when we celebrate your successful Year 7 and you're moving into Year 8. The useful information for you: the key assessments you're doing right now will be used to inform next year's class sets. So alongside teacher assessment in class, the heads of department will be deciding what sets you're in. You want to be in the right set. You want to be in the classes where the work is hard but attainable, and you know you can do it, but you have to work hard. So you need to make sure that your results for these key assessments are the best they can possibly be. So I hope you're working hard. I'm sure you are, to make sure that happens, and that way you end up with a very successful Year 8. We will be reporting our mock grades slightly differently next from this set of key assessments. We'll be reported as a percentage and compared to the average for the course, so you'll know roughly how you're doing compared to sort of averages. We will explain that more to yourselves and your parents and carers near the time. You probably already know this, but tank tops are optional this half term. You can choose to wear them or not, depending. Well, it doesn't depend on the weather, depending on what you choose to do that day. What I will say is there's a bit of responsibility comes with that. So you need to make sure that your tie stays on and you're not touching other people's ties. You need to make sure your shirt's tucked in, because you need to be just as smart without the tank tops as you are with them. And I have to say, from what I've seen already on the first day back, you have been absolutely fantastic. Good attendance these last 7 weeks is absolutely vital. You want to start Year 8 positively. You want to have the best possible start. Your teachers will be doing some work this year that's preparing you for that. So if you miss any days or any classes this year, in these last 7 weeks, that might make the start of Year 8 a little bit more difficult. You don't want that. And also, don't forget, in it to win it, every week that you have 100% attendance, you get your ticket. I have asked Mr. Dunlop if he can try to make it the biggest in it to win it of the year, so a big one for the end. Although there is a proviso on that: one day the mystery box will be just a box. Right? I hope it's not this half term. I'm sure it'll be something fabulous. So make sure you're in every day. And later this half term, we're going to have a pilot. We're going to try out different ways of moving around the school. Now, I want to make sure you can get to your lessons quickly and safely. So again, in a few weeks' time, we'll talk about that, and we'll have a go with the staff and the students. Is there a better way we can move around school to get to our lessons on time and safely? So I will leave you with a little bit more of Adam Lambert singing about getting older. Okay. Thank you very much, Year 7. Have a brilliant afternoon.
I'm getting older, I think I'm aging well. I wish someone had told me I'd be doing this by myself. There's reasons that I'm thankful, there's a lot I'm grateful for, but it's different when a stranger's always waiting at your door. Which is ironic, 'cause the strangers seem to want me